Assume you are a doctor. Moreover, a successful heart transplant hasn't even been performed in your country yet. Imagine entering a surgery as usual, but this surgery lasts 23 hours. Yes, this would be truly incredible. This image, chosen as the best photograph of 1987 by National Geographic, shows how a doctor fought to save his patient. On the right side you see one of the assistants helping the doctor. Yes, this assistant is sleeping. You might say, how can he sleep during surgery? This is absurd. But before being judgmental, you should know that this is from a 23-hour surgery. Yes, no joke, this surgery lasted exactly 23 hours. So how did such a long operation happen? Was the doctor able to save the patient, or did the 23 hours end in failure? The most striking part of this image is that it was a heart transplant surgery. Today we will look at the true story of this photograph and what happened at that moment. Lean back and let's begin. Relega was born in Poland in 1938. He was very keen on medicine. His only dream since childhood was to be a doctor. That's why he completed his university studies in 1963. He also graduated from the Medical University of Warsaw, that is Poland's largest university. From 1966 to 1980 he worked at the Wolski Hospital in Warsaw and specialized in surgery there. In 1973 he visited New York City to train in vascular surgery. A few years after that he trained in cardiac surgery in Detroit, USA. Relega was a successful medical professional. That's why he received his doctorate in 1973. After studying for a while he completed his habilitation in 1981, gaining academic recognition similar to an associate professor or senior lecturer. Years passed and he was progressing step by step on the path to becoming a successful doctor. He gave lectures, he gave speeches. When the year 1990 came, Relega had become a professor. After completing his professorship he returned to Warsaw from the university and continued to serve his own country. Everything was exactly as Relega had dreamed. He had become a doctor and had advanced in this field, but there was one problem: his country was a bit behind in medicine. More precisely, major operations had not yet taken place, and one of these was heart transplant surgery. Yes, in the days when Relega was a professor, a successful heart transplant had not yet occurred in Poland. Most doctors were hesitant to perform such operations because they were very serious operations. However, no matter how challenging, Relega thought he would perform such surgeries. In a way he was saying, I will be the pioneer as long as we help people. In those days a Polish patient named Tadeusz urgently needed a heart transplant since no such operation had been performed in the country yet. Not only doctors but also other people looked on with anxiety. Of course Dr. Relega was also anxious. Although he thought he would perform such operations, he was worried like any other person. After all, this operation to be performed for the first time could both make history and save a person's life. For other doctors to not want to take this operation was logically abandoning a person to death, but Dr. Relega did not accept this. He personally pioneered the aforementioned heart transplant surgery. Yes, we are starting. The first heart transplant in Poland is happening with a team consisting of a professor and assistants, and it's not even known how many hours it will last. Hours pass and the operation continues. He continues his struggle. Everyone is doing their best, and Relega is the pioneer of this operation because it is more critical than other surgeries and is being done for the first time. The whole team is careful to do their job with full concentration, so much so that a single mistake made during this time could cause them to lose the patient. 22 hours have passed since the operation started. Yes, 2 more hours and it will be a whole day. You can stop the video right here and make predictions about the result of the surgery. Let's see if it really turned out as you thought. After the giant 23-hour operation, this photo you see on the screen actually summarizes everything. Dr. Zbigniew Relega is anxiously watching the monitor in the middle of a mess of cables to see how the patient is reacting after the heart transplant. In the bottom right corner of the photo you can see one of his colleagues who assisted him in the surgery falling asleep. Yes, this operation was successfully completed. The patient named Tadeusz Zytkiewicz held on to life again after a successful heart transplant. At the end of the surgery, a photographer named James Stanfield took this photo that made history. The photo was named by National Geographic in 1987 and is among the 100 most important photographs in history. By the way, although it seems a bit sad, the surviving patient outlived the doctor who saved him. That is, Dr. Relega smoked a lot and got lung cancer. He died of lung cancer on March 8, 2009. His patient whom he saved lived 30 years after the surgery, longer than the man who gave him a new heart, and he died in 2017. The photographer who took the photo and his patient Tadeusz Zytkiewicz were present at his funeral. His 88-year-old patient held the photo taken that day in his hand throughout the funeral. Dr. Relega became one of the pioneers of heart transplantation in Poland, and he took a chance even though the surgery was considered almost impossible at that time, and the operation was a complete success. In this photograph taken since that day, the exhaustion and fatigue truly transcend the image, and the more you look the more you see. Everything adds a new dimension: the sleeping surgeon in the corner, the chaotic moments, the countless cables. When James Stanfield took this photo, he didn't just tell a story of a surgery. In a way, he also changed the world.